For we were saved in this hope. But hope that is seen is not hope, for why does one still hope for what he sees? But if we hope for what we do not see, we eagerly await for it with perseverance. Likewise, verse 26, the Spirit also helps in our weaknesses, for we do not know what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit himself makes intercessions for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. Now he who searches the heart knows what the mind of the Spirit is, because he makes intercession for the saints according to the will of God. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose. To whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, those whom he predestined, these he also called. Whom he called, these he also justified. And whom he justified, these he also glorified. A couple of things to just keep in mind as we go through this, that initially we're talking about here in this passage. In other words, a path of adoption. We noted here that basically back in chapter 8, verse 15, for you did not receive the spirit again of bondage severe, but you received the spirit of adoption. There is a path of adoption. It's suffering to glory. What happens is initially we experience what is known as positional adoption, what we are on this side of heaven, and it's the ongoing process of sanctification. And then we go on to the manifestation of the adoption. That is glorification. That's winding up in heaven. That's the end promise that we have with the Lord. And so as we're reviewing, keep in mind what we've looked at. I want to go through this kind of quickly so we can get into this passage, because when we first started coming into Romans 1, we saw the universal need for justification. After that, we saw this extended definition of what justification was at the end of chapter 3 through chapters 4.